there's no such thing as mermaid heaven, and go to like Epstein's sex island. Ay, Dios mío. Swing. God is dead. That took a turn. Happy Saturday morning, everyone. I am Daywalker, and today we'll be reacting to I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so it's kind of a reaction through my now jaded adult eyes. Kids' content kind of hits you differently when you're a little bit dead inside. You'll notice I look like another Disney princess today. I was trying to find some kind of like ocean-themed like earrings or costume or even just a t-shirt, and I couldn't find any, so I basically was trying to be like, all right, well, what's blue? I'm like, I look like Cinderella, but like the Netflix version of her. And that kind of just ran with it. So I added the choker and stuff. You never know who's watching these videos. Since Hollywood's run out of ideas in like 3 years when Disney decides to do a reboot of the live action reboot of the animated Disney movie, this is kind of like my audition. I too have rats in my house. So me and her are very similar that way. My ancestors were slaves. So, and normally I'm against race swapping characters because I think it's fucking lazy, but I made a sketch about it. I'll post it here. Boop. Yeah, so normally I'm not here for race swapping, but I am here for that big Disney money. Have your people call my people Disney. That could be cute. Oh, that is kind of cute. Okay. See, this looks like the BET version of Cinderella. Forced to clean houses, but like she dreams of becoming a famous like a rap video vixen. She just wants some magic prince out there to just pour champagne on her ass. Is that too much to ask? You know what? This reminds me of Tupac. I have something along those lines. I gotta take my headphones off. This is tasteless, you might say. Probably. But does that surprise you for this channel? Like, are you new? Probably. It's not very big. Me and Pac here are going to respond. Well, I can't really prop him up anywhere, so I guess just know that he's here and he's enjoying every moment of it.
Although there are many love stories having to do with a prince and a princess, this story is most unusual because this princess lives in a kingdom far beneath the sea. And our young mermaid princess is about to celebrate a very important birthday.
Oh, I can hardly wait. You'll most likely be disappointed. What would make you say that?
What a shitty thing to say, but also accurate. She's like, don't get too excited. It's all downhill from here.
She's been there, and now because
there you go. She's been there.
you have come of age, you will have a chance to find out for yourself what it's like in the upper world.
Okay. So they're not talking about just getting older. They're talking about going to the surface. That's a little different. So it's like a rite of passage.
It'll be wonderful. I'll get to breathe real air and see pretty moonbeams and beautiful beaches and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. And you will soon tire of it. Now then, blow on the candle.
What is it with this, like, pessimistic family? And you will soon tire of it. Like, let her live. She's excited about moonbeams and starlight and shit. Like, yeah, you know what? If I was in this family, I would also want to, give my soul to a sea witch just to get away from them. Fuck. Don't surround yourself with negative people. They're just going to drag your ass down to the bottom of the ocean.
Goodbye, everybody. Wish me luck. The sky. It's so big. It's beautiful.
Wait, you're telling me you've never been to the surface? Like, not even just to pop your head out of the water? Like, is it forbidden? King Triton's a dictator. In the Disney version, I felt for King Triton because he's just like a loving dad who just wanted to keep his daughter safe. But this version, I think, is a little bit of a tyrant. I think maybe this version deserves like an invite to the theater to see my favorite cousin or my American cousin. Whatever play Lincoln saw. Sic semper tyrannis, motherfucker.
She had never seen such beautiful patterns and colors. She could sense they signified some important occasion.
What could they be celebrating? I have to find out.
As if called by destiny, the little mermaid approached the giant ship. Her instinct had been correct.
If she's never been to the surface before, then how would she know that fireworks are a sign of celebration? Like, wouldn't she just think, like, the world was ending? That stars were imploding on themselves? Or I don't know. humans were at war with the sky.
Only this was no ordinary celebration.
Prince Jonathan, my men and I salute you, sir, and would drink to your health on your 18th birthday.
Thank you, Captain.
He's the most handsome creature I've ever seen.
That's not a really high bar. This is literally the first person you've laid eyes on since you came to the surface. Maybe just pump the brakes, give it a couple days, date around, see what's out there. I mean, there are mermen below the sea, so I guess she has seen men before. Still, this feels a little bit like fetishy. Like she's just into him because he has 2 legs. And she knows dating him would piss off her like bigoted dad. No daughter of mine's gonna be a landlubber. Lover. Whatever.
And in the blink of an eye, a mighty storm was unleashed. Torrents of rain poured down, and the sea was whipped into a frenzy by violent winds, sending mountainous waves crashing towards the ship.
All right, men, back down and be quick about it!
But the storm...
When y'all talk about how bad modern anime dubs are, I just want to remind you, have some fucking perspective. Is he saying abandon? Where would they go? They're in the middle of the ocean. Like abandon ship? Or like abandon like your post, get below deck? Like that's not very clear instructions. Then again, he just turned 18. Like his brain's not really fully developed.
Too late, the huge waves covered the entire ship, forcing it and its passengers down into the ocean depths. But it was not Jonathan's fate to drown at sea, for the little mermaid had not lost sight of him. Valiantly, she pulled him to the surface and bravely faced the angry...
Wait, did everybody just die? Like they were just playing like trumpets and wearing like cute little like tights and shit, and now they're dead at the bottom of the ocean. That took a turn.
On and on she swam, carrying her prince at her side, until at last she reached calm water and the safety of the shore.
I love you. I won't be very long, Father.
You don't even know him. Like, first off, he doesn't have good hair. Although, I will say, what luck that the very first guy she lays eyes on and falls madly in love with happens to be a prince. Like, ka-ching. What if the first guy she laid eyes on had been, like, the, I don't know, the guy who swaps the poop deck? Or, like, an accountant. And this, like, mute ocean girl just follows him around as he's just, like, doing boring office work and calculating numbers and shit. He, like... files a tax return and she's just like, swing.
I must look for Prince Jonathan's ship. Goodbye. I was so afraid that you would be lost with your ship. Are you all right? Prince Jonathan?
Yes.
I bet part of her's like, shit. She's got like a life insurance policy on him. Maybe she sent the storm. Like she made a deal with the sea witch to like have the storm, the squall at sea so that she could get that insurance money. That prince insurance money. I don't know. How much is a prince insured for? I guess back then they actually did something. Now they're just like suck on the taxpayer teat and end up in tabloids and go to like Epstein's sex island.
The little mermaid kept her vigil, never once taking her eyes off the young prince, whose life she had saved and whose heart she would give anything to win.
Anything. She's just sitting outside his window, staring and just like, I'm gonna love you forever. If you put different music under this, this would be a horror movie. Like, she'd be just stalking him. I always felt that way about Mariah Carey's song, Always Be My Baby. Like, it sounds like a love song, but she's like, no way you're ever gonna shake me. Ooh, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby. And she's talking about, like, inevitably, you'll be back again. 'Cause I know in my heart, our love will never end. Like, if the music video was her throwing the guy in her trunk, driving to a deserted, deserted desert, I don't know, to the desert in Vegas and, like, digging a hole and throwing him in it. The whole time she's just like, no way you're ever gonna shake me. Ooh, darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby. She's like, you know, we were as one, babe, for a moment in time. And you know, basically it's like a song about a hookup. Like in her head, it's this love story of the ages. But for him, it was probably just like a Tinder date. I mean, they didn't have Tinder in the 90s, but you know what I mean. He like hooked up with her once. He's like, yeah, she's crazy, but she's hot. I'll risk it. And it's a mistake he'd regret for the rest of his life. his very short life.
And so the little mermaid hopefully returned to the deepest regions of the sea to strike a bargain with the only one she knew who could help her, the evil sea witch.
I will gladly give you my potion, child. However, I will take your voice.
The face totally tracks with Evil Sea Witch. Like, I'm buying it. But the hair is so random. There we go. Like, it doesn't fit. It just feels very like Reba McEntire. Like, I don't know, one of them big-haired country redheads from like the 90s. The bigger the hair, the closer to God.
However, I will take your voice. That is the price you must pay if you want to win your prince and be one of them.
Is there like something she gets out of that? Or is she just being difficult? Like, she's just sowing chaos for chaos's sake. Because in the Disney version, she had like a whole strategy. In that version, Ursula was trying to get her to fail so that she could keep her hostage. Because it was like leverage against King Triton. Because she wanted his Triton. Yeah, she did. Nah, Ursula doesn't strike me as somebody who likes Triton. Fish, on the other hand.
She is a fishy girl. Just landed like fresh tilapia.
Like, she wanted his Triton because the Triton was like his power. She basically wanted to be the king of the sea, which is very progressive of her.
How will I tell my prince of my feelings for him without a voice? And will I gain a human soul?
Yes, provided you can manage to gain the prince's love for you above all others, you will have the soul of a human being. But you will have to do it without a voice. Is that understood?
Yes.
Then take the potion and be gone. But remember, once you drink it, you will never more be able to return to the sea. If you do, you will die.
Yeah, there was no incentive there for her to add all those stipulations other than just petty bitchery. Honestly, if I was an evil sea witch, I would probably be the same. I would do it just cause. Also, where is her, like, shirt? Or not shirt, but, like, her seashells. She's just sitting there topless. I mean, I guess they're all sitting there topless. Yeah. Their hair's covering their... Well, she's a redhead, so you know what would happen in the remake. She'd be played by, like, Queen Latifah. Or Viola Davis or something. If you get it, you get it. If you don't worry about it.
Please, you must wake up now. Someone once saved my life in much the same manner.
I mean, look, if you gotta bag a man without using words, this is a pretty strong start. Like, she's just showing the goods right away. This is it's a bold strategy.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
What's your name? Don't be afraid. You can tell me. Go on.
She's not supposed to have a voice at all. She has use of her vocal cords. She just can't speak. Like, that it made her sound like she's got like a... Nope. They made her sound like she rides to school in a bus that is shorter than average. I'm a little mermaid. What? That wasn't special. That just sounds like British. Like, I'm just like, I sound like an old school Disney villain. Like, no, I sound like, now that would be funny if somebody did a remake of The Little Mermaid, but she had a voice, but the voice she had wasn't hers. So it was just like Harvey Firestein or like Pinky from Pinky and the Brain, where it's just like, what are we going to do today, boss? Right, Prince Eric, would you like to marry me? If you don't, I'm going to go back into the ocean and become sea foam. I swear I don't always sound like this. I don't know if this is general mermaid lore, if this was just like something he made up, but in the original, I think it was something, I don't know, I read it in like 4th grade, but it was something like they live for a couple hundred years and then when they die, they just turn to sea foam and they have no souls. So like they don't get to, there's no redemption. It's just like when you're done, you're done. It's a very nihilistic view. If I have any teenagers who are watching who just discovered atheism, they're going to be like, huh, sea foam. I knew it. There's no such thing as mermaid heaven. God is dead.
And so it seemed the little mermaid's dream was to come true.
And this is the grand ballroom. If you want to dance, be my guest.
Dancing? I don't know if I can.
She's so beautiful and so graceful.
That would have been so funny. She's like, dancing? I don't know if I can. And then just like face plants. Like, she's never had human legs before, so she doesn't have the, concept of, what is it, like proprioception and balance and rhythm. I mean, she's also might not have rhythm because she's the whitest mermaid. Well, not anymore. At least she'll be able to keep rhythm, so there's something. And she won't get sunburned.
You may not be able to speak,
but
you dance beautifully.
okay. He's like, You don't speak. That's all right. I don't need you to. Prince Jonathan's just a fuckboy. That would be unfortunate. If you're a mermaid and you were able to come to the surface for like a day or so and the first person you laid eyes on happened to be a fuckboy or fuck bitch, she gets ghosted, or like she gets hot and cold, like, I don't know, I want to be with you, but I can't, but maybe one day, but no, I can't. Like, though, I call guys like that Batman. They create manufactured drama for why they can't be with you, as opposed to just saying, I don't want to be with you, or I'm not emotionally available. They'll play this game where they'll keep you close, but push you far away, but keep you close, and they're just like, you're someone I could be with one day. Someone I could really love, but I can't. If only things were different, but they're not.
I'm Batman.
Pew! Don't mess with people like that. Just move on. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Or mermaids. And sea foam. So basically just fish and dead mermaid parts.
I see that our guest has recovered, Jonathan.
Let me introduce you. This is my wife, Elizabeth.
Aw, shit. It was fiancé. Now it's wife. He done wifed up. He done wifed up Elizabeth. The drama of it all.
Elizabeth was my fiancée and the one I told you about who saved my life when I was washed ashore after a terrible storm at sea. We have since married and are leaving tomorrow on a voyage to celebrate our wedding. Don't you think the young girl should sail with us, Elizabeth?
Yes, but...
Huh?
Now all is truly lost, for he has chosen another, and I shall neither gain his love nor a soul.
I mean, I guess that's not overreacting. That is actually a pretty, like, dramatic turn of events. Things did not cosmically shake out the way you wanted them to. That's funny. Speaking of fuckboys, I had a friend who hooked up with one of my voice actor friends, and they were close for a while, and then she found out that he had, like, a girlfriend or a fiance or whatever, and then when she confronted him about it, he's like, look, you know, we could have worked out, but things just didn't cosmically shake out that way. I'm like, nigga, you sound like a marriage certificate. Cosmically shaking out has nothing to do with, like, fate. But again, she was also crazy too. So it's probably for the best that it fell apart. But yeah, it's a little oversight. Like, hey, you could be the love of my life if my wife weren't already that. But, you know, you can be a good backup if you just want to wait, you know, another 10 years. Her boobs start to droop and her face starts to look like a relief map from, like, geography class. And it's you and me forever, boo. What was that? I don't know. Clearly, I'm not a good fuckboy. Teach me, sensei. Show me the ways of the fuckboy. Girls can be fuckboys, too. Let me walk in the path of the fuck person. You know, my Gen Z viewers will be happy. I gotta say, this is some real telenovela shit, though. Watch.
¡María! La estufa está encendida, Guadalupe. Mi esposa tiene 2 manzanas y 7 cabras. ¡Ay, Dios mío! Mi estómago está cantando con un grupo de mariachis. ¡Pinche mariachis! ¡Ay! Evitar ducharse, bañarse o nadar al menos durante las 3 horas siguientes a cualquier aplicación. ¡Ay, ay, ay!
Nor could she ever again return to the sea. The little mermaid was truly more alone than she had ever been in her life.
Speak to us, sister. The sea witch has returned your voice. Why have you come here? We want you to be with us where you belong, and we've made a bargain.
Did one of you forget something as you left the house? She's missing her bra. And her nips. I imagine you're probably in a rush. You know, you're trying to save your sister's life. Like, none of the other sisters were like, hey, I just pulled her aside. Didn't need to embarrass her publicly, but they, you know, like, just pull her aside and be like, hey, you've kind of... I wonder if it's maybe like another rite of passage. Like, at 16, you get to go to the surface, and then at 18, you get to be clothed. Until then, the whole world can see your shame. I can see your dirty pillows.
I can see your dirty pillows.
They're called breasts, and every woman has them.
Maybe she's just like the annoying, like, uber feminist sister, where, like, she feels like she needs to make a political statement all the time. Hashtag free the nip. Down with the patriarchy. I guess the sea witch was like that too, because she didn't have a bra on either. Well, I mean, that tracks. She's like sitting in her cave, sowing anarchy, and being a big old les. I feel like there's an idea here, like a business, like my entrepreneurial brain is kicking in. I'm like, okay, just like, hear me out. A restaurant called Titties and Tails. Like a Hooters, but by the ocean. So you have a really nice view of the ocean, really nice view of other things, and they'll be serving like mediocre seafood, like a Red Lobster. Like if Red Lobster and Hooters got married, and the waitresses would all be skating around on roller skates with like fake mermaid tails, kind of like they did in the Broadway production of The Little Mermaid. The liability insurance would be through the roof, though. Whatever. I'll just hire people under the table in cash. People are desperate.
But in return, you must take the life of your prince.
He's wed another girl, so he can never be yours. You will never have the soul of a human, so your feelings do not matter any longer.
I'm sorry. Your feelings don't matter. You don't have a soul. Who the fuck cares? Facts don't care about your feelings, and neither do I. Soulless monstrosity.
Here. The sea witch has shown you her good faith by giving you back your voice. Kill the prince so that you may once again become one of us.
It's his life in return for yours.
Those are good sisters, though. They care enough about her to help, be accomplices in murder. That's sisterhood. That's female empowerment. Like, are they even your bitches if they don't have your back in attempted murder?
The little mermaid slowly opened the door to the prince's quarters and approached the bed where he lay fast asleep, the dagger held high above her head, ready to strike the deadly blow. But his face was so peaceful, so innocent. Try as she might, she could not force her arm to move.
Wait, so she didn't kill him just because his face looked peaceful and innocent while he slept? What would have happened if he didn't sleep that way? Like, what would happen if he was having a nightmare, or if he has, like, resting bitch face while he sleeps? That would have been enough to be like, well, he deserves to die. Also, the only crime the prince committed here, like, he didn't lead her on. He told her right up front, like, hey, I'm married. He didn't kiss her. He didn't do anything like that. He just... all the prince did was follow his heart and marry the woman he loved. And then save some crazy sea bitch who is now holding a knife over him because she didn't marry him. He didn't marry her. Poor dude. Thankfully, he's like completely oblivious to the fact that he has a psycho stalker on his hands. Although, as a prince or with royalty, like, you would think he would have like better security. You shouldn't just have access to a monarch like that. Is the monarch just the king, or is a prince also considered a monarch like anybody in the royal family? I don't know. I'll Google it. Actually, I don't care.
Really captured her heart, the same young man who had been so kind and gentle toward her. Once again, she tried to summon strength, but she could not kill this young man who was still her prince, for she loved him more than her own life.
I wonder if maybe she fell in love with him because he was a prince. Like, maybe none of this would have happened if he had just been some regular, like, Joe Schmo, like a mechanic or, whatever, mailman. Like, maybe she's a gold digger. Maybe she knew exactly what she was doing. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so in love with him. He's a prince. Like, pulled a Meghan Markle. Sorry, I know some of y'all like her, but I think she's sneaky. Like, what even is a prince? I've never heard of that. Just, like, so cool and, like, chill and, like, didn't look you up at all, or, like, was obsessed with you as a kid, or, like, looked up the kind of perfume your mother wore so that I could wear it on our first date to, like, trigger your traumatic memory so you'd bond with me quicker, or, like, wear fashion to public events where I'm going to be photographed looking kind of like her. Nah, that's a coincidence. I don't know. Maybe I'm too deep into my conspiracy theories. Tupac would agree. Because the one time me and my brother really bonded the most was a couple years ago at Christmas. For some reason, we both went down the Tupac conspiracy theory rabbit hole. And it's the best moment in our relationship. Not that it's bad. He doesn't talk. But for whatever reason, he'll talk about Tupac conspiracy theories. So I ran with it. Don't feel bad for me. Shut up.
Now, even in the depth of her despair, the little mermaid knew that she had made the right decision. She had remained true to herself and to her love.
I only hope that someday my prince may come to realize how very much I really loved him.
The sea itself was beckoning her to return. But she was no longer a mermaid, and the sea was no longer her friend. Deeper and deeper she went, the life slowly draining from her fragile body, the pressure from the ocean's depth now too great for her.
It's kind of a vivid detail of, like, the pressure of the ocean, like, basically is, like, crushing her lungs. This is for children.
Suddenly, as if by a miracle, fate came to her rescue just as she had come to the rescue of the young prince. She was encased in a large bubble and carried aloft to the ocean surface by 2 guardian angels. The creator of all beings was not going to allow her act of unselfish love to go unrewarded. She had earned a soul.
Her act of selfless love or unselfish love? She literally almost tried to kill him for not marrying her.
And as she was lifted ever higher unto the heavens, the little mermaid princess knew she would live on, and that one day she would once more find her prince.
Basically, God was like, all right, I'll reward you for not murdering the man who you were obsessively stalking. What kind of moral is that? Also, it said, like, you know, she knew that one day she would be reunited with her prince, or she'd find her prince again, or something like that. That doesn't sound like heaven for the prince. So basically, this bitch is gonna wait in heaven until the man that she's known for a couple days and killed herself over arrives there, hopefully at the end of a long life that he has lived with his Elizabeth, with his love of his life. You know, they were old and they died together in each other's arms, like The Notebook or something. Spoiler for The Notebook. If you haven't seen it, it's like, what, 20-year-old spoilers? Get over it. I've been waiting for you for eternity. Now we can be together forever. Like, how's his wife going to feel about that? Like, I would imagine that their heaven would include each other, but her heaven would be like him and only him. What would my heaven be? Probably like me just sitting around and having God like recite, like making everybody else in heaven sit down and just listen to him reciting a list of all the times that I was right about anything and how brilliant and smart and wonderful I am. And they just have to sit there and take it. And then we kind of forget about all the times that I was wrong or that I fucking sucked. That sound like I said something I didn't. I was saying fucking sucked. Just to clarify. Whatever, you're going to think what you want to think. All right, well, that was the Little Mermaid that I can't source. So somebody's version of the Little Mermaid. I can speak. It's fine. Little Mermaid. And this has been BET's version of Cinderella, featuring a bunch of B-list rappers because we couldn't afford, like, you know, the big ones. And then for some reason, Taraji P. Henson. She seems like she does a lot of stuff. Like she's doing a lot of favors for friends. They're like, bitch, when you get famous, you owe me. And then she's like, it's like Rumpelstiltskin, where she like got a lot of favors on her way up that she forgot about. And now she's having to pay up. Actually, I don't think she's been in something as crappy in a while. I don't know, you know what I mean? She's, whoever the black version of like Eric Roberts is, insert that actor into the joke. Make it work for me. I'm lazy. Been busy scrubbing fireplaces all day. Why would they make her scrub the fireplace? I do these cartoon reactions every Saturday morning. So like and subscribe and click that notification bell. Click that notification bell. That's the voice she should have had. See if she could bag herself a man name. If you don't like my video, you can fuck off, can't you, mate? Pip pip. Before you go, Daywalker says, don't kill the man you're obsessively stalking. Or at least don't get caught.